folks, and welcome to my channel, and welcome to another Cacao chat. At the time of filming, this is the second video that I've done in this series where we talk about something to do with spirituality, to do with life, well-being, something global, if we feel it's appropriate, whilst drinking a cup of cacao. Okay, so my cacao's here. I've not even had a little sip yet. I'm just waiting for it to cool down a little bit. So depending on when you come to this, there is a playlist on here. There may be just 2 videos, there may be quite a few videos. I have been in a bit of a tiz with this video of what of what to actually do it on. I know originally in that first ever Cacao chat I did, I was talking about future content and I was like, oh, wouldn't it be a great idea to do a pre and a post inauguration Cacao chat? I've done neither. And I'm aware that I've done neither at the time of filming. I did a tarot reading afterwards. I think I can't remember what day it was I did that tarot, but it was afterwards. Obviously, since that tarot reading has gone live, other things have come up, other reactions have gone up, and I was like, oh, I don't know if I want to jump into this, and I don't want to jump into anything, to be quite honest. I don't want this to be a channel that jumps into things. So I was sat here gearing up for this video, and I thought I'm going to pull some cards on whether I should do a post-inauguration video. And 2 cards, and these cards were just for me at the time, and 2 cards came up, and I was like, oh my God. Releasing. So let's see how we go. I'm not going to go into what's happened, what's been said, signals that have been done, anything. And I appreciate if the comments are kept clean as well. I'm not going into any of that. What I want to talk about, because I was going to do this about self-care when things get difficult within our world, within the global stage, and how to cope. But there really is this energy out here of needing comfort. And it's not just comfort. This is deep comfort. She's wrapped in her blanket. She can't even look. She's got her eyes closed. She's disassociating. She's needing comfort. I also want to say that I like the fact that he's an angel, isn't he? He's a male angel. That there are many good people within this world, many good men within this world, many good, not to be fearful of everyone in the world, okay? And in every person that walks this planet, let's start supping. We're going to need it. Might need a pint after this. I'm only joking. In every person within the world, whether you deem them bad, good, toxic, angelic, a saint, there's elements of everything within everyone. And for those of you that were around when I did the Hitler channeling just a couple of weeks ago, wasn't it, at the time of filming, he brought through some great insights into why we sometimes have to experience certain things as a world and why certain people come to the world to teach us something, be it on the global stage or be it in our own personal lives. So taking this back to comfort, I think it's important not to gaslight people. There's a lot of gaslighting going on out there at the minute. A lot of people are feeling afraid. A lot of people are feeling angry. A lot of people are feeling stressed out and frazzled. And for good reason. Okay, for good reason. But at times like this, when we are feeling like that, it's important to feel the feels. I do love that saying, feel the feels. It's important to feel the feels. It's important to not run at somebody that's feeling like that with your prerogative, because you may admire someone and that's fine. Can I just say it's okay to look at certain people on the world stage and admire them? It's okay to be fearful of them. Not fearful of them, wrong words. It's okay to feel fearful of them. We've got to stop this thing of telling people what they should be feeling, what they should be believing, what they should be doing. It's how you're feeling. And if one person, as in not just that person, but if one person if a human, God, you've got to watch what you say nowadays. If a human being can hold all frequencies and all lights, light, dark shades of grey, colour, and all of that, then it stands to reason that many people can see many things within them. Um, so let's bring this back to comforting. It's important at these times to disconnect, to reconnect. And when I say disconnect, I don't mean from people, I mean from some aspects of social media. I work on social media. I love social media, but I'm also aware of its powerful influence to make us feel certain things, to make us react certain ways, to make us view the world through a certain lens, to make us feel frightened, to make us feel euphoric, to make us feel as though we've been heard when in actual fact you haven't, to make us feel as though a certain person is a tyrant or a certain person is a saint. We live in a very divisive world. And we live in a very manipulative world as well, where I'm hearing if your face fits, you're in. Do you know what I mean? It's a hard one, is it? It is because there's things that have been said and done this week that are problematic, and I'm not going to sit here and name them. Um, Sometimes you have to find inner peace. Sometimes you have to go into the heart space. We're drinking cacao, which is a plant medicine. She's a plant medicine. If I slurp, it's tough. She's for the heart, for the physical heart as well, and the energetic heart, the heart chakra. And one of the things I've discovered whilst taking her is that when something comes up in my life where before I would have stayed in it, I still do feel anger at times, I still do feel fear at times, but I'm not there a long time and it doesn't suck me in because sometimes you have to go into your heart space. And this is for whatever your belief system is in this, whether you absolutely adore him, okay, or whether you dislike him. You have to go into your heart space. And going into our heart space is where the healing starts, begins. It's the comfort. The heart space is the comfort. It's also as well to allow people to feel what they're feeling, to not run at somebody, to not gaslight someone. Um, Maybe that's a product of the systems that we've been brought up in and grown up in, where we try to tell people what they shouldn't be feeling. I think humans are scared of other humans' feelings. Like, say if all of a sudden we're in somewhere and something really crazy happens, and other people get really scared because they're getting scared, you get scared, and it rumbles along. So we go into fight or flight. We either run out of the room or tell people to pull themselves together. And that's just humans for you. But I think it's also important to remember that this week we've got one of the biggest planetary alignments of our time that is happening, 25th of January, 2025. And yesterday I tuned into the energies and I said, it's like all of a sudden pulled out of alignment, pulled back into alignment, pulled out of alignment, pulled back into alignment. And it's like stretch and expansion, stretch and expansion, stretch and expansion, stretch. And it was all over the way. It was all over the place. And maybe that's what we're meant to be going through. Maybe we're meant to be stepping out of the gallows energy against people within our own lives. They're this, they're that, they've done this. Gallows, even if there is a valid reason, and I think there are valid reasons this week to possibly jump on a gallows energy, but The humanity that we're going into is not about that. It's not about that. You know, we've channeled some of the most controversial. Who was it? Was it Peter Sutcliffe that we channeled? And he said about there is no heaven and there is no hell. Sorry, there is heaven. There is no hell. As in, everyone, no matter what you've done in your life, has the opportunity to transition. They have the opportunity to be visited by angels and taken to the other dimensions. Okay. So if angels can do that, if angels and galactics of light can do that, why can't humans? Why can't humans see something on the... Imagine being able to see something kicking off in your own world, your own personal world, or seeing something kicking off on the global stage, or presumably kicking off. Imagine being able to feel that, feel, because we've got to feel things to release them, but then to be able to pull yourself back and go, okay, this is not for me to judge. I am not his God. I am not his spirit team. I am not his ancestors. I am not their whatever. I am just a human being on this planet. It is not my place to judge. I cannot be judged, jury, and executioner. What appears to have happened has happened. Who knows? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just step back. I'll be aware. I'm not going to close my eyes to it. I'm not going to pretend the world is really perfect. La 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 la. But what I am going to do is sink into my heart and let their karmic path, and this isn't about karma's a bitch, because I hate that. This is about karma is your national curriculum. It's what you come down to the planet with to learn, to let their karmic path unravel in the way that it needs to unravel. I'm also then going to look at this person and think, okay, what are you teaching me? You're actually teaching me to go into my heart when I'm faced with something quite horrific, very horrific. My friend Ian Robinson, that was on a couple of weeks ago. Well, he was once interviewing a shaman, um, and I remember this video he did, and the shaman said, I'm paraphrasing here. He was once in a meditation, and he came across a nasty entity, a dark, heavy entity in this meditation. So in this meditation, he started to fight it, using all his shamanic tools to look after himself. And it was getting worse. And I can't remember he said he remembered what one of his own masters had said, or whether he had his energetic masters. And it was something along the lines of when anger, hate, eye for an eye stops working, what about going into love? And in this meditation, he was like, what? I'm under attack here. How can I go into? I've got to defend myself. So the shaman went into love. He sunk into peace and love. He beamed love at it from his heart. He beamed light at it. He beamed joy. And he just sat there beaming it at whatever was coming at him, the energy. And it went. And he was brought out the meditation. And that's what he learned in that moment. That when you come across something that scares you, something that's toxic, or something that is controversial, problematic, yes, oh God, feel it, be aware of it, don't deny that it's there, but don't go into vitriol, don't try and fight it, don't be a truther. The sword of truth's coming in, because what happens is, because remember, everything's energy, it just comes at you and it keeps coming at you. It's love. I used to work with someone that used to say the words, disarm them with kindness. And he was actually really good at that. He was really good at that. When people came in and they were het up over something, he was really good at disarming them with kindness. And that's what I feel we're being asked to do in this position here. And taking that into our own lives. It's not about being a pushover. It's not about pretending that everything's perfect. It's about going, whoa, whoa, no shit, Sherlock. Okay. But then being able to go, right, this isn't between me and, the person. This is between them and their team, them and their gods, them, because they'll have teams, they'll have spirit teams and spirit and gods and stuff. Ooh, interesting. Interesting. What if at a higher perspective? Imagine, I'm trying to put this, we shouldn't be like this in this modern world. We shouldn't be like this, but we've got to think what we say every single minute. Imagine if somebody said to somebody energetically and said, I'll tell you what, do something just to see where they're at. Are they going to cheer you? Are they going to gaslight people that can see through it and see what's happening? Or are they going to step into their, where are they? Because, I've said this, whenever you go to a Reiki session or a shamanic session or meditation circle or you watch a spiritual video or you do a spiritual course, I was going to try and slurp down the camp, but that's disgusting. What'll happen is a test comes in. It's like you get your Reiki attunement, you get tested, and we nearly always fail it, 100%. It could be that somebody cuts you up in traffic and you start, honestly, effing and jeffing and all of that. We always fail it, but that's failing it is part of the learning. Well, we're doing a lot of ascension work at the minute. We're doing a lot of self work. We're doing a lot of self healing. We're doing a lot of preaching. Everyone is. We're doing a lot of philosophical thinking as well. So let's see where they're at. Let's see where they're all at. How are they going to react to this? When I say this, I don't mean Trump getting in. I mean a certain signal that was done this week. Okay, I'm not going to say it. Um, so let's see where they're at. Let's observe where they're at. Let's observe where humanity's at with this. Are they going to cheer it on? Are they going to reel back from it? Are they going to gaslight people that are going to say this is problematic? There's so much to unpack. There really is so much to unpack here. Um, and it's not about the rights and wrongs of it. It's about how do I react to this situation as a human. Oh, I thought I wasn't recording then. As a human being, how can I react? How can this teach me something to become a better version of myself? Um, so that's where else are we going to go with this? Let's tune into the energy of Lady Cacao and see what Lady Cacao, if she could sit with us right now. She's just showing me stillness. She's showing me where she grows, in the deep, deep jungle, and the stillness of the plants. This morning, I sat on my bed because that's why I do my makeup. I live in a bungalow, so it's in there, right? And we've got a garden back there, okay? And the sky had a black, it was like black, but the sun was shining through. And I was going to put my meditation music on, and I've got like billions of wind chimes in that garden, which you'll hear when I get all the windows open in summer. Um, and I was just listening to the wind chimes, the rustle of the wind, still looking at the birds, just pottering about, doing their stuff, looking at the trees. And I just thought, what we've been shown this week is not in that garden. It's not in this room. It's not in this vessel. And it's the same for you. You can go further and say it depends on what frequency you're at, because we know that we're all operating on different frequencies at different times throughout the day. So right now I am safe. Right now you're safe. In a different frequency, that's all going up. There are some people that are so in tune spiritually this week that it's just not touched them. And this isn't about being ascended. This isn't spiritual ego, because I have been affected by it in a big way this week, which I'm going to share with you. Um, feel the feels, feel it, say to somebody, this is upsetting me, this is frightening me, this is making me angry, but then take yourself off. Take yourself off to your room, to your bed, and process and journal, and tell people around you, um, I need to process this. Back to the stillness of the nature. Tangents. Back to the stillness of the nature. So nature, look at nature. The trees aren't flipping out. The trees aren't jumping onto social media telling people what's what. The birds are flapping about. They're not. They're not. The sky's not. Well, the sky has its weather cycles, and the sky does react to things, but it's not flipping out. So there's a lot to be learnt from the elements, from our galactics, our angels, our wizards, light wizards, by the way, um, our, elves and fairies. Um, they're actually quite, when you can tune into them, they're actually quite fun, which is why I laugh a lot during my videos. Because when you start to tap into that energy, it's very fun. They can have a real wicked sense of humor because they're not here, you see. They're not here physically. They're not bogged down with it. They're in a very giddy frequency where it's all about laughter, and they're not into this crazy matrix that is dismantling. Also, as well, there is that things are dismantling at a speed of whatever, light, electricity, um, which is why things don't seem like they used to do. Just don't. And this could be in your personal life. This could be us going and meeting the mums and tots in Costa. And we've always loved it. We've always loved getting together, getting some cake, getting some of that. Hey, I tell you what, do they still do it? Let me know in the comments. Toast in Costa with strawberry jam. Strawberry jam. I used to love that. Big, large cappuccino back in the day, me. Anyway, look at me now. Only joke. I still drink coffee now and again. I've got a coffee machine. Um, can you find yourself sat there going, this ain't the same? I don't know what it is, it's just not the same. Let's watch our series on Netflix. Yay, it's on. This ain't the same. Let's watch the inauguration. It ain't the same. I know there was some things that arisen in that inauguration, like not, you know what I mean? But it's just not the same. Um, let's go on holiday to where we used to go to. It's not the same. It's because you're changing frequency as well. It's because you're changing frequency. Um, I'll be honest. Yeah, I used to love royal events. I used to bloody, you ask Gary if you ever meet him. Royal weddings, funerals, bar mitzvahs, the lot, everything. Whereas now I just can't watch them. I just can't watch them. They're just not the same. And we'd booked loads of trips to royal palaces and castles, and Gary was, bless him, enthused. He was going to make a good show of it and turn up and film and let's do it. And he in the end, he was like, "Come on, we can do this." And I'm like, "I want to be asked." But the thing is, we'd already paid money to do it. And that's because you change frequency. And this isn't about being a good frequency or a bad frequency. It's all different frequencies at different times. You may be operated at a certain frequency. And I reiterate again, it's not about being lower or higher. It's not spiritual ego. It's about different things. It's the same with foods I used to eat, like the big, massive Costas I used to drink. The takeaways I used to eat. I can't eat it now. Can't digest gluten. Can't have a lot of dairy. Gary can't have dairy at all. Um, you know, can't watch certain films. Can't listen to certain music. It's change. It's change. So if it's not working for you, it's fine. Step back from it. Doesn't have to work from you for you. Okay. Um. Well, what else should we talk about? What do you like, Cacao? How long are we waffling on for? Um. It's really easy now to look at, from as an outside, to look at the States and think, oh. But don't forget that people look at your own country like that as well. And there's many good things in all countries. Never also as well, don't let that narrative get you down as well, fear mongering over a country and its people. Because within all country, I mean, there's some amazing spiritual sites in the States, Canada. I know Canada's different, all of that. Mexico, shut up. Not really Mexico. And I'm joking, I'm having a laugh. Um, there's some amazing spiritual sites over there. There's some amazing people over there. There's don't let don't be fearful of a country. because of what it's going through. I remember when we were going through the Megxit and England got some right shit. You Brits. And it's just like, it- it's something that's happening in this country. Why is it a country's fault? Do you know what I mean? Why are you blaming its people, all of its people, for the few that are, part of this situation? Um, all countries have its light moments, its shadow moments, its embarrassing moments. All people are the same. All humans are the same. We all have our light moments, our dark moments, our embarrassing moments, our tragic moments. So allowing it to play out, allowing and trusting that what happens is meant to happen. We're going through a dark night of the soul now. We're going to be tested, and my guides keep. I don't know if you have them in the States or anybody else in the country, in the world, in the country. See, we are old one. We have these car washes where you go in and like um, things come down the side and over the top. If you know what I mean, it's like I don't know. They've got long strands of things on. Do you know what I mean? It like rolls. It's a car wash that comes at you. Let me find a. No, I'm not going to find a picture. Well, that's what I'm being shown by spirit that we're going through at the minute, and it's to flex those spiritual muscles, to flex those energetic muscles to, it's really easy to sit in a video like this and be all like namaste and love and like mwah, 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 and to go to a circle, drink cacao, everything's wonderful. Yeah, man, whoa, peace, man. Yeah, it was a wonderful world. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. What is hard is when you're sat having your tea and somebody comes on and does a certain thing and to stay in your heart. That's hard. It's hard to stay in your heart when you're dealing with a toxic parent or you're dealing with a toxic brother or sister or you're dealing with not a toxic parent, a parent that or somebody that is behaving in a toxic way. We've got to get out of that as well. You're toxic. We've got to get out of that as well because we all do toxic things. We all do toxic things. We all say toxic things. We all react in toxic ways. Um, so we are getting tested. It's like what I said in the tarot I did this week. If you're walking down a street and you see that a certain person has passed, I know it's not going to happen because it just wouldn't. We never know, do you? Are you going to just step over them or are you going to help them? Do you know what I mean? If I was walking down a corridor, if I went into the States now and I'm walking through a building and I see, sod it, I mention him, Elon. Is it Elon or Elon? Let me know in the no, don't. Don't. I'm joking. I don't want to have to go through loads of shite. I'll just delete it. Um, there's a thing on Google now, and I didn't know that you could do it where you can type in what the thingy and they let you know how it said. So I'll be doing that a lot. Anyway, you're walking down a building and they're walking towards you. I'd give them a smile. I'm not forced. Hey, you're right. No. If I was in a cafe area and, there was no tables and I was moving and he walked in and he said, I need to look for a table here. I'd go my life. Why? Because all that anger, do you know what all that anger and vitriol and keeping that anger and fear does to my body? It gives me a dis-ease. It makes my mental health up, takes me off of my path, makes drinking cacao, makes drinking cacao a waste of time because I'm not walking the talk. And when do you know what? It's took me a long time to get that because I used to be quite combative back in the day. I grew up in a council estate, so you had to, it was, weakest, only the strong survive. So you were on tenterhooks. Is that a word across the world? You were on tenterhooks because of crime, of burglary, and all of that. Walking down the street like that, fight or flight. Um, so yeah, in a city, in a Leeds council estate. So it took me a long, and I worked in a big institution that was very combative. So it took me a while to actually master that, and that's one of the things I've learned that somebody may piss you off, somebody may do something horrific. It doesn't mean to say you have to be just as bad or just as combative. It's okay to be kind. Okay. Um, Right, I'll show you another thing. I'll show you another story. Yesterday, I was on Tickety Talk. I am on trying to reduce it. I am reducing it. I know what's happening. And on Tickety Talk, somebody had worn. Is that a word? Let me know. Grammar police, come on now. Somebody had worn an outfit, or they wore an outfit, or they'd worn it, or did they wear it? Let me know. Somebody had worn an out. Somebody had worn an outfit. A woman had worn an outfit this week that researchers, online masters, had found out that it resembled or was very similar to an outfit, an outfit. Ooh, grammar police, come in, help me out. Um, that had been worn in a series and a book. Okay. And I was, and I went into so much fear, and I was like, sod this, I'm sharing it. And I shared it. And I could feel my guides observing me, watching me. And I was like, I need to let people know. I need to let people know. I need to let what is it? I've got 2,000 people following me on Instagram. I need to let people know. 2,000 people. It's gonna change the world. That's what I went into. And they were like just watching me. And I was just sat there and I just calmed down. And it was like, number one, it's a fellow woman. And one of the things that we're working on at the minute is the healing of the divine feminine, where we don't shame women, whether it was purposeful or not. We're not going to get into that debate. Whether it was purposeful or not, or an accident, or we're not going to shame a woman, Claire. And I felt, and I could hear my higher self talking to me. We're not going to shame a woman. So why are you shaming her? Even if that outfit was purposeful. Um, It's an outfit that was worn this week, okay? I'm trying my best not to start naming things and stirring the pot. There's enough of that going on out there in the online world. And also as well, what came to us, what about the people that are already in distress that come to your channels for a chill out, a laugh, inspiration, or just go onto social media to zone out? I know we shouldn't be zoning out on social media, but we've all done it, and we're all guilty of it. And they see that, and maybe they didn't know about that, and maybe they're a woman in that country, and maybe seeing that post is just going to add. And people come here for comfort, and is that something that Mary Magdalene would do, Mother Mary would do, something that Claire Booth would do? That's my maiden name. She'd have been online sharing like a right one this week if this had been 10, 15 years ago. Yeah, Claire Booth is my maid. Well, Booth is my maiden name. But Yorkshire name that. Um, and Thackeray is as well. Um, and I was like, okay, okay, okay. And I took it off. And as I'm having this conversation with the higher self and the guides and the universe, and I'm observing myself, and I was like, that was something that was still there, that was still toxic within me, that needed to come out. So I was thankful, like looking back on that, I'm thankful for that woman for wearing that outfit. And I'm thankful for those people that shared that post so I could go into that energy, sink into it, and experience it and pull that out. And I've realized now it was the wrong thing to do. It really was. It wasn't going to help anybody. All it was going to do was fuel the fire and attack someone, even if that person is intentional with that outfit. It's not going to help anyone, me doing that. It's just going to add to it. And it's just going to make the waters muddy. What I'm being shown is, when there's a scene of crime and the police put a tape around it and they get a bobby, a police officer, and you can't come in. You can't come in. Let's say there's been something in a house and they tape the house off and there's a police officer on the door and he says you can't come in. It's like now, not saying that her wearing that dress is a crime scene. I'm saying it's the same type of thing. They keep it clean. And what's happening in the world at the minute? Things are happening, problematic things, or could be problematic things if it's not an innocent thing. And people are piling in, piling in, piling in. And it's becoming a wash with nonsense. And it's a struggle to get to the core of stuff. And maybe that's how things are slipping through the net. Um, so we can all have a moment. And it's how you deal with, and that's what I mean. It's not about being perfect. I would never share on social. I had a moment and I did share it on my business one as well. It's not funny, I know, but um, yeah. So what have we learned this week as we go into this big planetary alignment, as they all on the 25th? What have we learned? I've learned a lot. It's been a dark night of the soul. I've gone into fear. I felt generational fear come up. I felt past life stuff come up. I felt the collective stuff come up. I felt the I hate this world, it is shit energy come up. Um, but ultimately, what I have learned is that going into your heart, staying present, staying accountable, staying in neutrality, and this isn't about sitting on the fence. I'm just going to see how this plays out. It's it's the best way forward, best way for me anyway, and it's a much more healthier way than just jungle drums of just. They said. Did you see that symbol? Did you see that symbol? Did you see that? Did you see that? I've done this week with people around me. I mean, poor Gary, every 2 minutes out of this office, I'm saying this. This has happened. That's happened. This has been said. That's on signal. Been a couple of hours on signals, haven't they? But um, hmm, yeah. So self-care, self-care. Well, can we look after ourselves going forward? Disconnect to reconnect. Observe our behaviors at all times. Not going overboard with it. Um, staying at practice staying in a hat. Cacao's a good medicine for that. I always put below in these videos where I get mine from. You get yours for whenever you're drawn to. Mine's ceremonial grade. Um, full power cacao. I'll put the details below like I did in the last video. Um, it's not for everyone. It's fine. You not don't have to, but it helps me. It's been a great medicine for me. Um, excuse me. Burp. That's moving energy, is that? Um, having a toolkit, having a toolkit that we've got that when times get difficult, we know what we can pull in. So our old toolkit could have been a night out in Top Yates's in Leeds. That was my old toolkit. Um, drinks, partying, God knows what else, takeaways, all kinds of stuff. That used to be the old toolkit. Big fat Costa coffees twice a day, big cakes and stuff. There's not wrong with cakes and coffee, by the way. There's not wrong with the odd glass of wine if you want. Um, that was your old toolkit. The old toolkit could have been, jungle drums, sending information around, getting involved, all of that kind of stuff, neglecting yourself. So let's set up a new toolkit. A new toolkit could be regular journaling practice. Oh, no, it doesn't have to be regular because I'm the type of person that struggles with that I'm trying to do morning pages at the minute. I do 2 pages, but it can struggle. I can. So having a journal where you can come to it as and when you feel. Some people are really good at journaling, they're excellent. Have a journal where you can even dump. So, say you need to dump your stuff, you've got all this stuff going on, you've watched the news, all this stuff in your life's going on. You can dump it, even if it just is. Certain person wore this outfit. It's really upset me because it's I feel it's a symbolism of this book and what could be to come. This person's got into power. I can't and go on. And it doesn't have to be grammar. It doesn't have to be spelt right. It doesn't even have to be neat. It can just be okay. Gets it out of the brain. Exercise. It could be gym, swimming, wild swimming, walking. It could be armchair exercise. It could be just sitting in your armchair with some weights, prayer, meditation, um, safe spaces online. So safe spaces online are going to be people that are not trying to influence you either way. They're not telling you should be voting, you should be. They're not telling you, they're giving you just holding space for you online, if that makes sense. Um, hobbies, sewing, stitching, card making, um, pottery, painting, drawing, doodling, crosswords, word searches, something that gets you off tech. Okay, go by word. All of these things are so easy. They're so easy to jump into. Um, Having a good daily practice. So, what's your daily routine? Not a routine to a point of when you do it, you get stuck and you're rigid. So, having a good time to get up, good time to get to bed, having a good self-care. Do you wash? Do you shower? Do you bath? What scents do you use when you're doing that? I treat myself to Neil's Yard. I try and step away from the chemicals because chemicals affect me. Um, Having a little facial routine like me, cleanse tone facial, cleanse tone moisturize every day, morning and afternoon, morning and evening, sorry. Um, is painting, I mean, my nails are stripped bare this morning because it started to come off to the nail polish, but having a nail polish routine, um, anything. Having, is it going to be cacao? Is it going to be a herbal tea? Even a cup of coffee can be part of your routine. Cup of tea can be part of your routine. Silence can be having a toolkit of different things that you can pull out at any one time, whether it's global or personal or external, that's there. So you've got a safety net. Reading can be good as well. Still drinking. And it's a much better way than going into these situations blind because there's going to be more stuff come up. There's going to be more stuff comes up to test us and we'll stumble. Well, I should, and we need, to be quite honest, I'm thankful for this week because I needed that stuff to come up because it was there. It would have eventually killed me. It could have caused disease or something else within the body. And I'm like, oh, what's caused this? What's caused this? So I'm thankful for this week. I'm thankful that, I had these experiences where it came up and came out and that I didn't stay there. Um, yeah, let's pull a card. We'll keep these two cards out. This is the Oracles of the Angels by Mario Duguay. Probably said that wrong. So, guidance for people post inauguration. Whoa. Angel whispers. What's whispering in your ear? Some angry influencer? Some lower dimensional and some lower frequency energies because they're about at the minute, or is it angel? How am I reacting right now? Is it of a higher frequency? Observe it and then deal with it. Angel whispers. Stepping into angel whispers and application. What was I saying? The book, the lessons, a tree of life, as above, so below. Application. What's the point in going to train to be a nurse, to get your first job as a nurse on a ward, and then start doing the plumbing and not use your nurse? You wouldn't dream of it, would you? If you spent your whole, I don't know, is it 2, 3, 4, 5 years doing nurse training and you went on to work on a ward as a nurse, why would you then say, no, I'm not going to be a nurse, I'm going to be a plumber instead? You've trained to be a nurse. So you're even if, and this isn't about people that have just gone on to be a healer or a tarot or whatever. This is about anyone that is involved at some level in tarot, spirituality, watching these videos, watching other content like this. This is application. And this is both sides, whether you've on the winning team or the losing team. I'm going to give some chat to the winners in a minute as well. Application. And that's how you grow. Parting of the deck. I do like a parting of the deck. And that's how you transform. We need these times. We need these characters. They're here for, I've said it, and when I say this type of stuff, it's not because I idolize them, because I've said I would struggle to know who to vote for. I really would. It's because at higher level, they're here to purge us and they're going to keep purging us until we sort ourselves out. It's gonna be bumpy, but it needs to be bumpy to be purged. So if you're on the winning team, just lay off people. Lay off people. Give people space. Stop going at people if you are going at people that maybe, are feeling fearful now. Stop gaslighting people as well. Be humble. Be humble. Celebrate in your own way. Again, that card applies to that energy as well. Because I've seen a lot of toxicity online this week. Oh, it's 10-10. Gaslighting, goading, provoking, just stay in your heart. What would love do? You go online and somebody's having a rant about any of them. Look at that post and think, what would love do? What would love do? That person's obviously hurting. If you walk down the street and there was somebody with their arm slashed open, would you go up and push them in their arm and poke it? Oh, someone's going to pass out now because they're blood phobic like me. If somebody's in the street and they've broke their leg and they're limping, they're asking for help because they're in pain, would you go up and kick the leg? You'd go up and you'd help them, wouldn't you? Ring an ambulance, assist them, give them a drink, put a blanket around them. So if you're going out into the online world or into your family world and someone's in pain because somebody's come into power that frightens them, scares them, triggers them, or whatever, don't poke them. Don't. And it's the same on the other side as well. This all works both ways. Don't. Humans don't do that. Beasts do. Am I operating from a point of humanity, of light, or something even beastly? And that's teaching that side something as well. There's also an energy out there as well of people feeling they've got it wrong. There are people out there, I've got this wrong. Like I had a moment of this because I actually looked at somebody, I don't mention names. There is an element of out there of, did I get it wrong? Did I get it wrong? Because there's a lot come up this week. Do you know what? We're humans. We're allowed to get things wrong. This is a really complex situation. People, humans, the world stage is a complex place to be. Don't beat yourself up if you feel you've awakened to something, that you may have got it wrong. There's a lot of that. I've been speaking to people this week that are actually saying similar stuff. Have we got this wrong? I would say with this one, don't idolize. Don't idolize or put on a pedestal. See everything and everyone as a teacher. They're all going to come in different bodysuits. There are some spiritual teachers that will come in and they'll be in the beads, the robes, and even they can have shadow. Let me tell you, there are some spiritual teachers that will come in and they'll be the biggest trigger the world has ever seen. One of you put a great comment on the Hitler video where you said something, I'm paraphrasing again. Who taught us about love? Was it Jesus or Hitler? Who taught us about love? Was it Jesus or Hitler? Who actually teaches you about the rise in divine masculine, the rise in divine feminine? Is it your online influencers that are all beaded up? Yeah, man, come on. Or is it somebody that comes into the world that represents the opposite? Can I have an analogy for that? When you feel something's been taken away from you, at some point there's a breaking point of, no, I don't want to lose that. if that makes sense. Um, enjoying this video. I'm enjoying this video actually. So, anything else wants to come through about did we pull a card for those that have won? No, wrong words. Wrong words. Those that are celebrating that someone's got into power. Those that are celebrating that someone's got into power. Because again, winning and losing can, trigger. It is silly out there at the minute. There's a hyper vigilance out there because so many people are drowning in trauma and pain. They're hyper vigilant. It's awful. They're in pain. People are in pain at the minute. Um, so for those that are celebrating, there's loads there. I'm not gonna guidance for those that are celebrating the win. I am beautiful. Inner child. Inner child, and I am beautiful. Let me do a clarifier. Oh, releasing. Same message. The need to be right. Releasing the need to be right. Releasing ego. Stepping into beauty. Inner child stuff here as well. There's inner child stuff. Excuse me. What would your inner child do? Is there some inner child wounding? Sod it, I'm going in. Sometimes we can idolize people in the world. It's actually not normal to idolize people, by the way. We can get inspired by people. We can enjoy lectures with people, or we can follow people. But when we idolize people to such an extent that we can't see, there's something here about inner child. It's that person is filling in a gap. So it could be a father wound where maybe for some people it could be that same person represents their father, so it triggers them. But for some people, that person represents something they never had as a child. Or do you know what I'm saying here? There's something to do with inner child wounding. It could even be feeling that you're not seen. I'm gonna get trolled. I'm only joking. I don't give a shit. Do you know what I mean? Um, I think there's some big truths coming up, some big home truths coming up, big, huge home truths. Application is, how do I, how is my baby trying to teach me? The need to release something and step back into love and unity consciousness. And this isn't about who you vote says where you are or how awakened you are. When you tell somebody to wake up, you're actually asleep yourself. Okay, wake up. It's funny because I'm an observer, me, and both sides are telling each other to wake up. But it's like, well, one of you is asleep. What if both are? Do you know what I mean? Um, wake up and vote Trump. Wake up and don't vote Trump. Confused. That's what's out there at the minute. It's not who you vote does not tell you how awake you are. It's how you yeah, that's interesting. Who you vote, who you vote is not about how awake you are. It's how you conduct yourself in that voting. So somebody could have voted a certain person in, but they're going about their life now with dignity, with respect. They're not getting involved in the online community. They're not telling people to wake up. They've done their vote. They've done it. They're standing in their truth, their integrity, or whatever. Fine. They're awake. because of how their behavior is awake, because they realize about ego. They realize that, there's why do I need to go out there and blah, blah, blah. And it's the same for the other side as well. And knowing that all people are beautiful, regardless of who you vote for, whether you voted, what your belief system is, all people are beautiful. There is also an energy out there I'm tuning into now of people that have voted that are feeling under attack. There's all different kinds of personalities in the mix out there at the minute. And these people could be feeling quite low. Oh, God, does it matter? Does it matter? We've all got, it's not about getting things wrong or right. It's about lessons. Take away, I was wrong to vote them. I was right to vote them. It's about the lessons. It's about the lessons. It's a video. I enjoyed this actually. Let's pull some cards for everyone. Let's pull some cards for everyone. What I'm being shown is a table. And the words I'm hearing is, I wonder if this is Christ, actually. You're all welcome at my table. I don't care whether, excuse me. See, I think this is Christ. You're all welcome at my table. And I've been shown a table, and on that table there's a Trump supporter sat there with the red hat on, white patch on it. I'm joking. You've got to get used to my sense of humour and just take the piss. Um, there's a Trump supporter sat there. There's Democrats, so there's people that don't actually give a shit either way sat there. There's all different colours, religions, belief systems. Musk's there. They're all there. Everyone's there. You're all welcome at my table. Deal with it in a respectful way. And I'm being shown a vision of, imagine if you could say, imagine if you could now sit in your head and go, visualize your dinner table and visualize all the people in your life on the world stage that trigger you or whatever. And imagine getting into a point where somebody could knock on your door and say, obviously, stay safe. Don't just let it. Shh. Elon, Trump, your Aunt Barbara that triggers you. Barbara's coming in now. Megan, Amber Heard, anybody out in the world stage that triggers you. Imagine knocking on your door in the early hours. My car's broken down. Would you come slam the door, or would you? It's fine, come in. Or you're going to do a dinner party and you've got all this, feeding of the 5,000 energy going on. You can feed them all. Imagine getting to a place where you can visualize all these different perspectives at your table. As long as you can come to my table, as long as you're respectful. So someone can sit at your table and say, I really admire this person. That's fine. As long as they're not going, then they go. They've got to leave. And that's the energy that I'm seeing now. No matter what belief system you are, no matter what you've voted, you're welcome at the table as long as you step into your heart space. And even if, we do have a ramp, because when we did the Peter Sutcliffe energy channeling, we talked about this, that there are certain angels that are equipped to deal with that compared to the angels that will go into a little child that's died to take them. Do you know what I mean? The team that goes and deals with the heavier stuff are more adapted to that compared to the team that go and pick up dead babies and Claire, trigger. Do you know what I mean? Or good people. Oh, there is good and bad people. You know what I mean? Um, there's this thing about overanalyzing it. I mean, I had a bit of a situation this week. I'm going to mention him. I think he's able to take it. He's a lad. I'll come on to something else in a minute. I had a moment of looking at Baron this week going, oh, shit, at the bed. I don't know. It just gave me the heebie-jeebies at one point. My stuff. And I was like, he was stood there at one point like that. And had his hair scraped back. And I was like, he looks like the school bully. He reminded me of a lad that I went to that was a bully. And I was like, have I got this wrong? And one of the things that came through was nobody's got it wrong. It's we all come to earth with gifts and light and love and joy and within our vessel. It's how you awaken up to that. It's what you choose in each moment to step into. Okay? So right then he was I saw it. I'm not gonna I was like, oh God, I've got it wrong. Oh I'm shit at what I do. And I was like, do you know what? They were just laughing at me and they were like, no, you haven't. It's what he steps into in that moment. Um, and I'm sharing that with you because it was an experience that I had. In that when I clicked on at a certain stage, that's what he was. He was in the energy of, oh mate, oh shit. Look at me, I'm my dad's president. Come and have a go if you think you're hard enough. You see, he was I was like, whoa. He was stepping into that, but then there could be somebody in his life that actually sees him when he's in his much more softer side. Anyway, there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on. Don't overthink it. Don't punish yourself. Go into your heart space. Embrace life. Embrace joy. Don't get stuck. Another influencer that I came across ages ago, I don't know their name, was you're going to see a lot of things on the world stage where you're going to become the rabbit in the headlights and you're just going to be sat there absorbing it. He said the best thing you can do is to go, wow, okay, and then get on with your life. Because when you go, that's it, that's it, you're done. You stay there and you're in that whirlwind until you can come out of it. It's going, wow, shite. Oh, okay. Process, move on with your lessons. And that's the same with all aspects of your life. Um, and also not to go through life like, um, yeah, it's interesting, interesting times. Anyway, have we finished yet? Hmm. So, did you enjoy this cacao chat? Are you still with me? I wonder what the next one will be on. See how the world goes. I don't want to plan ahead too far. I'll try and do these at least once a month because you see, the thing is with cacao as well, I do like to drink it privately as well. I feel like I feel not stressed, but I feel like I'm actually no, I don't. I did this morning. I was like, yeah, I want to drink cacao in my own or with Gary because he's starting to drink it now 3 days a week. So I like to drink it with him. Whereas actually, I'm not drinking alone because I know there's many people watching me at different times. So there's nothing. That's something I've had to overcome in my head. It's not just about me and my moment. Oh, Jack Slot. Again, I was like, he's one to watch. He's Jack Slosberg. He is going to take over the world. He holds huge amounts of light and then got a bit sexual about his grandmother. And I was like, he went on a mad one this week, didn't he? Bloody Twitter. It was just, what did he put? Let me have a look. Oh, you see, there's no escape. I'm not going to show you a picture of it, but there's no escaping it at the minute. Slosberg. Jack Slosberg. What did he put? Twitter or X? True or false? Usha Vance is way hotter than Jackie O. And I just was like, everyone just flipped. It is what it is. And it's a bit of a laugh. He is what he is. He's here. Again, he's trying to show us something and teach us something. And Jack Slosberg sparks fierce backlash over his bizarre tweet about his hot grandmother. Shut up. See, press just wind it well up. Um, He is one to watch. They're all one to watch. Just because when I say there's one to watch, don't mean to say I'm idolizing them. It's like they're interesting. They're one to watch in the collective to bring certain things out. Um, I think that's all we've got to say. You do get bits at the end of it. Anyway, Do a parting of the card. Card for those watching. Quick message. Inner child is coming up. There's some Trump. Love it when I spell stuff out. Trump. He's teaching us something about our inner child as well. There's some, and yeah, this whole thing this week, there's stuff about inner child coming up. I'll leave that for you to delve into for you personally. Thank you all for watching. Please do like, comment, share, and subscribe. I will put a little bit of housekeeping out now. This video will be going under my strict regulatory thing with comments, so I will be monitoring comments. Anything that comes in antagonistic on me, the topics, my followers, I apologize. I know. Well, I do. No, I don't apologize. I will be deleting it. Anyone coming in to try and goad or whatever, come in with love, with empathy. But anyone trying to, even if you try and do it, I know. I'm on to people at the minute. Um, you're welcome at my table as long as you come in balance and integrity. Don't care who you voted for, what you believe in. It's fine. But don't start coming in like a right chaotic person. Anyway, if you want to see more of these videos, go to my Cacao playlist. Depending on when you watch this video, there could be a lot of videos, there could be just two, and there's other playlists as well, which make it easier to navigate different videos. Thanks for watching. Please do like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye.